Alright guys, welcome back to another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the units that I'd be most excited to see an EZA for. Now there are a handful that I haven't got up here because I don't think they're as likely because they're still quite good. Those in particular, two of them would be Dragon Ball Super Gogeta and Dragon Ball Super Broly, the dual Dokkan Fest ones that came out when the movie released. Those two, now I just want to point out, I do think they could get an EZA if the worldwide download celebration in August, I think, if that is a dual LR Dokkan Fest of Blue Gogeta and Full Power Broly, then I think there's a high chance that those two, the older versions of them essentially, could get EZAs. I don't want to say for certain. I still think that would be a bit unlikely because they're still really good, but I mean, you never know, right? Dokkan's done some wacky things in the past, so I mean, technically anything is possible, right? So, forgetting about those two, today we're going to be looking at some other units that I think would be really exciting to see if they got EZAs. So, first up, as you can see, is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, I know the Int one only, well, technically recently, right, in quotation marks, released, right? He's still a relatively new unit, but this Tech Gogeta, Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is, he's still an alright unit now. He has aged, especially in terms of his defense. Like, his defensive capabilities are not, they're not good at all. If we look at his passive here, like his super attack, first he raises attack and defense when turn. That's fine by itself, right? Really, I mean, his best thing right here is the great chance of evading. That is, what is that, 70% chance, whereas the Int Gogeta only has a 50% chance. I think it's 50. So that's the difference here. So, you know, this guy is an actual counter god, essentially. Well, super attack counter god. So, you know, if they just give this guy, say, I don't know, a defense 120 even, at the very least, if they give him that, and then with the increased stat boosts EZA units get, he'd already be absolutely insane, right? He'd be putting up some serious numbers defensively and offensively. But I feel like in an ideal scenario, I'd like to see an attack and defense 150, and then they can keep the rest of him the same, basically. Or at the very least, like attack 150, defense 120, or attack 120, defense 150, something like that. Either way, he needs a defensive buff. Otherwise, he's gonna get hit very, very hard. So, moving on from Gogeta, Omega Shenron. Again, they released the same day. Again, dual Dokkan Fest, right? And he has a similar enough kit. But if we look at his super attack, that's not great. That's not great at all. Again, I feel like he could... They have the potential to do something unique with this guy, kind of like in the same way they did with, you know, like 6th anniversary units, like the Blue Evolution Vegeta and Ultra Instinct Goku, in that if they get an additional super attack, they're guaranteed to get a crit. And since this guy has basically built-in additionals, right? I feel like that might not be a bad idea. I don't think they'll do that with him, but if they did, that would be pretty awesome. But other than that, I'd just like to see at least some sort of defensive increase here in the super attack. And again, the same as Gogeta, he needs a defensive buff. The same way he gets this attack 120, he needs at least defense 120 in order to become good defensively. Now, I will say his stats are quite good. Comparing them with Gogeta's, I mean, Omega Shenron has got higher defense, very slightly higher defense, higher health, that's for sure. Gogeta has the higher attack, but I mean, even with stat increases, both of them would absolutely just be monstrous units. They'd be insane. So, closing down these two, actually, we'll skip him for now. Let's go to Lord Slug. Just get this kind of unexciting unit out of the way. He needs an EZA. Like, unlike most of the units on this list, I say most. Alright, most of the units on this list are still kind of usable. Lord Slug is not really, I mean, he's just not really good at all. Like, he's terrible. Not the worst units on this list. Not the worst unit on this list, I don't think. But he's definitely far from the best. Again, his stats, well, his defense at the very least is not great. His stats aren't amazing. I mean, he's not a Dokkan Fest exclusive, right? So sure, but attack and defense 80%. If they bump that up to like 120%, you know, he's gonna be sitting nice, especially again with the stat boosts they get. So he gets an attack 50% for 5 turns after receiving attack. That's not bad. I don't think they need to change that at all. As long as they give him like a defensive buff, attack and defensive buff, an increase to it, with the increased stats. And then maybe if they want to go focused on attack, like with him, like it looks like they're doing with his passive, they could do it where he raises attack for 1 turn or something, and then greatly lowers defense. Something like that wouldn't be a bad idea. But again, look at all the categories this guy is on that he would be helping, right? Giant form in particular, and Namekians, like those 2 categories with an EZA Lord Slug. Namekians in particular, though, out of the 2 is definitely the worst off category. And while an EZA Lord Slug wouldn't just automatically make it like a top tier category, it would seriously help it. It would seriously help it along. So again, giant form, Namekians, Dragon Ball Seekers doesn't hurt. Inhuman Deeds again doesn't hurt. You know, it's basically a buff to all these teams, an extra option, right? And it never hurts that. So yeah, Lord Slug. So then we look at Majub, another. Now I know another unexciting option, I know, but we don't have any real. This is the only base, just straight up Majub in the game, apart from his SSR. Now I know there's the Tech Eller one, but that's an Oob that technically transforms into Majub. So you know. Now when I said Lord Slug wasn't the worst unit on the list, I meant that this guy is the worst unit on the list. He really needs an EZA. He's a god-awful unit. Now, they could do some really good stuff with this guy. And if you look at the categories he's on, again, he would buff Earthlings and Majin Power, Saviors, Connected Hope, by the way, which really, really needs it. It's the AGL Kid Gohan's category. That really needs it. And again, GT Heroes doesn't necessarily need it, right? I mean, but it's not exactly the biggest category ever either, so it doesn't hurt. Shadow Dragon Saga, again, you know, his stats leave a little bit to be desired, but I still think they have, I don't even know what they could do with this guy. Like, he's basically an open book. They could do anything with him. Really, obviously, this needs to be changed to percentages. Nowadays, percentages are where it's at. Flat buffs like this or boosts aren't really viable or good anymore. So, and again, attack plus 7,000 only when HP is 30% or above. That's bad. That is so bad. I mean, look at it. He's a 2016 unit, though. He is ancient, right? He's like 5 years old at this point. So, yeah. Majub definitely needs an EZA, but when he gets one, I feel like they could... I don't know. See, I have a feeling where this could be one of those units where they botch the EZA, unfortunately. You know, like they did with Super Saiyan 3 Broly. Did a recent review of him, rainbowed out on my channel. Go check it out if you're interested. But, yeah, they could totally botch this guy's EZA because he's a... Well, he's not a Saiyan, right? And he's not like a Frieza clan kind of unit. And, you know, he's not one of the more popular kind of, you know, units like that. So I feel like what they could do is they could end up going down the road of making him very niche. In other words, where he's only really useful on specific teams, which they've done that a couple times recently. And I don't hate it, right? But with a character like Oob, it feels like they make him niche to specific teams like Earthlings, which are just shit. Right, let's be honest, they're terrible categories, right? And you're gonna make this guy really good for a category that sucks and literally nobody runs. Now that's not saying they will, but I feel like they could do that, and if they did that, that would be such a shame. But again, you know, we'll see. I have a lot of hope for this guy. So, Majub out of the way. Turles. Turles. This guy, I still use him in a decent amount, right? The main issue with this guy is when he transforms, he stops giving the support. So, first off, before he transforms, right, it's key 3, attack 40%. If they make it attack and defense 40%, or even like attack 40%, defense 30%, something like that, that's really good already, right? Already. With the increased stats, right? I mean, look at his defense. It's not terrible, right? But he needs a defensive buff. That's for certain. He needs a defensive buff. Now, sure, that will kind of counteract his transformation or his boost from the Fruit of the Tree of Might, but this isn't the best form anyways. I mean, sure, he's definitely stronger in this, but the reason people run this guy is because of his support buff and because of look at all the categories he's on. You know, so I mean, if they could make it somehow, I doubt they would, but if they made it where he still gave a buff when he transforms, maybe even just lessen it a bit, you know, maybe key 3 attack and defense 30% instead of 40% when he transforms, but then he's like stronger when he transforms, I feel like that could still be really good, right? I would make him a lot better. But yeah, just in general, he needs a bit of a defensive buff in his passive. The medium chance to stun is really nice. I mean, if they could give him the chance to seal as well, that would be pretty cool. Make him very useful in places like Super Battle Road. But yeah, he's a pretty good unit. He's an alright unit right now. He can get smacked up pretty hard, but if you're able to hide him, he's still quite good. So, now we're going to move on to Jiren. So, Jiren is, he's still well, he's not a new unit anymore, right? he's 3 years old at this point. It's hard to believe, right? But, Jiren's not terrible. Now, Jiren is not terrible, but, okay, and you might be saying, well, he's still pretty decent, right? So why would he be on this list? And the reason I have him on this list is because int UI sign Goku EZA during the 6th anniversary, and if they EZA'd him, he's the first category leader, I believe, in order to get an EZA, right? That's not an LR, obviously, because LR, Goku, and Frieza, they're the reps Universe 7, and they got an EZA as well, but that's besides the point. Non-LRs, UI Sign Goku was the first to get an EZA, and with that kind of opened the floodgates in a sense, because they're almost finished the 120 EZAs with Physical Cooler at the time of this recording, only releasing like yesterday or something on JP, his EZA. So, you know, we're coming to the end of these 120 lead EZAs, which means we're going to start getting into more category EZAs now. Jiren, I don't think he's going to be one of the first ones, but when he gets his EZA, whew, he is going to be powerful. He is going to be powerful. I am telling you this right now, okay? So, medium chance to stun all enemies at the start of him. Already, he's really good in Super Battle Road, right? They could bump that up to like a high chance, and he's just going to be absolutely nuts in Super Battle Road. Give him attack and defense 150%. I could see that as a definite... By the time they get to someone like Jiren, I could definitely see that as being possibility. You know, if not even higher. I don't think they do higher, but, you know, it's still possible. And I could see him possibly maybe getting the chance to seal on super attack as well. Maybe that'd be a bit much, but again, I think it would be nice. And his defense is not bad, and his attack isn't terrible, right? It's not the worst, but with the buffs, again, he's going to be sitting pretty nice. So Jiren is going to be really good. Next is Kefla. Now, Kefla has the chance to get one relatively soon in terms of category leaders, because she's, again, not good. She didn't release too far after Jiren and those units, but she just aged so quickly. She aged so quickly, and she's just not even really runnable anymore. Peppy Gals, I guess you could run her, but again, you've got the STR one, so I don't know. I mean, the SR1 is transforming, so you can't run them together, right? But still, I feel like there are better units than this Kefla. So when she gets her EZA, she's, I feel like, going to be a really good unit. Now, again, keep in mind, as far as I'm aware, she's not. She's not a Dokkan Fest exclusive. So, you know, she's not going to be as powerful as some of the other units on the banner, right? But, or on the other units on this list, sorry. And I look at her defense, it's kind of lacking, you know. What she needs is a flat kind of percent buff that she gets, like a lot of the other units here at the start of turn. She could keep this, obviously. The orb changing is kind of nice, right? Maybe they could change it so it changes random key spheres to physical rather than just specifically int. That mightn't be a bad idea. That would make her quite good on like a physical like team. A team where you have more physical units. Let's see what else. Attack and defense keys for obtained. That's not terrible, right? So they could give her, say, maybe attack and defense 100% at the start of turn, and they could change this to randomly changes key spheres to physical key spheres, and then attack and defense like 15% or 20% per key sphere obtained, and then the rest is fine. The rest is fine. Like, she doesn't need a lot of work for her to be really, really, really good. Okay, she just needs like a few things here and there. Now her super attack effect is whatever, right? If she could raise attack or raise defense, even if just for a turn, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But yeah, Kefla could be really good. So next we got Super Vegeta. Now he's a bit of an older unit. Again, I think he's going to be one of the first category leaders to get an EZA. I mean, he's released back in 2017. So, you know, on JP at least. So he's definitely aged. I mean, he's just... See, the thing is, he doesn't put up quite the numbers. Like, he's a counter unit, which is great and all, but he doesn't quite put up the numbers like you think he would. I mean, like, his attack is quite low. It's not really low, right? But it's kind of just meh. So with an attack boost from the EZA, he'd do really well there. His defense is alright. His defense combined with this here is just, yes, that's really nice. And counters additional attack 10% for each attack received. See, that's, I don't really like these kinds of passives here because I don't know, I just don't personally. But if they're going to keep that in, if they could do it like where it's attack 20% with each attack received, that would really help them. Or if they made it like attack and defense 20% with each attacker received, that would be really good. But even then, he wouldn't be the best in Super Battle Road at the start, because generally Super Battle Road stages don't last very long. He'd be good in long events, right? If they made attack and defense with each attack received 20% up to 100%. Something like that would be good in a long event, but I still wouldn't see him as a good unit for Super Battle Road, unless they give him like a like, he already has damage reduction, which is really good. But if they give him like maybe even just attack and defense 50% or something like that at the start of turn, couple that with this, right, with a possible attack and defense 20% up to 100% just to make it quicker, and he's already almost, when he gets an EZA, he'll have pretty good defense. You know, he'll be pretty good at tanking attacks, like basic attacks at least. So that's something, right? So he could be quite good, and his super attack effect isn't terrible, right? I'll raise his attack by 30% for one turn. Again, you probably want him in slot 1 for that. I feel like this guy's a slot 1 unit anyways with this and this, so like, you know, we'll see how that goes. I'm expecting great things from him. I hope they don't shaft him like they did with AGL Super Vegito, who was quite underwhelming when he released. So next, I know, Tech Blue Vegito. Yes, he's gonna be busted. We can all just admit this right now. He is gonna be busted when he releases. He's not got counters like most of the other Vegito units, right? Which kind of hurts him a little bit. But he can just put up such great... Well, okay, when he's fully built up. when he's fully built up, he can put up great numbers. The real drawback with this guy is his defense and the length of time it takes him to build up. He can still put up quite good numbers, like even today, but it takes him a long time and he can get hit pretty hard. So say if they give him like defense 120% or something at the start of turn, right, and he already raised attack and defense, so he stacks attack and defense, which is great, and then he gets an additional tanks which have a medium chance to become a super, so that's quite good already. The issue with this guy is the lack of defense at the start and this here, which, you know, it takes a long time. I could see them making this attack 30% with each attack performed up to 150%. That way it would speed it along a lot quicker. It would really help him. You know, he could possibly be the best EZA in the game when he releases. But I don't know. I still feel like Physical Vegito Blue could be better than this guy, purely because of the counters and his absolutely insane defense once he gets a super attack off. It's just crazy what they did with Physical Vegito Blue, but I'm hoping they can make this guy better, right? Even though he doesn't have the counters, I'm really hoping. So, these two here are both Prime Battle LRs. Now, they are LRs, I know, right? But look what they did with Prime Battle LR Frieza and Prime Battle First One Frieza and Prime Battle LR Super Saiyan Goku. This guy here is next in line for an EZA. The Prime Battle in line for an EZA. He is going to be busted, right? Now, if the trend continues, right? So, for Prime Battle Goku, you needed just these random units, basically. For Frieza, you needed to have random units, and also, you needed to have Prime Battle LR Super Saiyan Goku. So, my question is, for this guy's EZA, are you going to need to have Prime Battle LR Frieza done in order to do this guy's EZA? I could see that as a possibility. Just keep that in mind if you don't have Frieza done. I don't, actually, which is, I know it's bad to admit. I just got kind of lazy. And also, I didn't have the Incredible Gems to get that STR Krillin out of the Baba Shop. I still don't, actually. I'll probably get hopefully I'll get enough Incredible Gems during the 6th anniversary on Global, and I'll be able to get that Krillin, and then I'll be able to work on the Frieza. But yeah, this guy is going to be really, really good. If they could even just change these to percentages, and we are good. This guy, look at his defense, bro. Look at his, I know they're LR stats, but come on. Look at that defense. This guy is going to be a freaking monster, right? And if they could even add greatly raised attack and defense for one turn, this guy will be absolutely insane, right? And like, he gets key 8 attack and defense 20,000 when facing tournament enemies. They changed that to percentage, right? He's going to be so good in Super Battle Road. I can promise you right now, this guy will be like a staple on Hybrid Saiyans or Vegeta family, you know, and he'll buff a lot of the categories as well, like Vegeta family, which a lot of people seem to underrate, but I personally really like it. But he'd be a huge buff to that. Again, Hybrid Saiyans, a lot of the categories here don't really need the buffs, but even still, it doesn't hurt to get a huge boost like this guy here. And again, with this Super Saiyan Vegeta, he's probably going to be the next one after the Trunks. And whew, his defense isn't quite as high, right? But like, his health is higher and his attack is slightly higher. I feel like this Vegeta could be possibly he could possibly, take this with a grain of salt, this is just my like opinion, but he could be the best free-to-play unit in the game when he releases. Like, I feel like this Trunks could be the best free-to-play unit in the game, and then when the Vegeta releases, he could turn into the best free-to-play unit in the game. It depends also on, you know, whatever they do with other free-to-play units in the meantime before this guy releases. But still, like, look at this. Like, they just need to change this to percentages, right? And say maybe attack and defense 150%, right? And an additional attack plus, like, I don't know, like 50% or 60% or 100% even. and launches 2 additional attacks for 4 turns after receiving an attack. He's good. And again, they could do greatly raise his attack and defense for 1 turn just to make him like that bit better. There's not really much else to say to it. He'd be, again, a huge buff to Vegeta family. Pure Saiyans doesn't need it, but again, why not? Let's just buff the best category, one of the best categories in the game. And Gifted Warriors, yeah, that could definitely help Gifted Warriors. So again, finally, we're down to the final 3 here. Now, Super Saiyan God Goku and Super Saiyan God Vegeta. These 2 really should have gotten their EZA a long time ago. They really should have. I don't know what took so long, or what's taking so long, rather, for their EZAs to come out. They're not Dokkan Fest exclusives, right? So, they're not even category leaders, right? They're banner units. But, like, these guys... Okay, Tech God Goku is still quite usable today, right? He's still quite good. God Vegeta, I really like him, but he's unfortunately not as usual, purely because he has a high chance of guarding all attacks. If they just made it so guards all attacks, right, just guards all attacks just straight up, already he's an amazing unit for like difficult events. So, and like, if we look at God Goku, right, key 3 attack and defense 100%, change that to 120, okay, with the stat boosts. Again, he's a rainbow orb changer. They don't need to do anything for that. Attack 7% per rainbow key 3 obtained. Again, they don't need to change that. They could buff that up to like maybe 10%. Damage team minus 77% when there's a movie boss category enemy. Again, they don't need to change that. All they need to do is give him the stat buff. Change this to maybe like 120 or 150%, right? They could even bump it up to key 4 if they were feeling spicy. And then you've got 10% possibly per rainbow key 3 obtained. And we've got a winner right there. And then for God Vegeta, again, possibly key 4, right? But I wouldn't imagine that. It'd probably be the key 3. And then attack and defense 120 or 150%. And then change this to guards all attacks. And then high chance of stunning the attacked enemy isn't a bad thing either. That's still quite good. So God Vegeta doesn't need a lot of work in order to make him absolutely insane. And God Goku needs even less work, right? Again, even just the stat boosts are going to help this guy. But Vegeta in particular, if they just make this guards all attacks, already he's an absolute god. No pun intended, right? And so, yeah. Again, he raises attack, so he can hit high numbers, right? He stacks, right? So he stacks attack, which is quite good. If they make it attack and defense, he's going to be insane. This Goku seals, which is quite good. So, you know, they're quite good, and they work well together as well. So EZAs are a wonderful thing. And finally, this is the #1 unit I am most excited for an EZA. Transforming Blue Evolution Vegeta. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see what they do with this guy. I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but wow, I am excited for this. I am so unbelievably excited for this guy, okay? When he first dropped, I straight up spent, as a free-to-play player, right, I straight up spent 2,200 stones, no, 2,300 stones, I think, on his banner when he released. Like I was saving for almost the entire year, just doing everything, right? And that was the time where he was like really delayed because he had Turles, and then there was like the worldwide download celebration, and then I think they did something else for Halloween, I can't remember, and then they released him. No, he released before Halloween, right, yeah. So, I was waiting a long time, right, and I managed to build up a lot of stones. So I was really happy when I got him. But this guy, oh my god. Could we just like, alright, this here is not good, okay? But they changed that to, they could even leave that in, right? Because some units need greatly lowers defense. It's a very niche thing, but it doesn't hurt to have it, right? But if they put in like raises attack, or greatly raises attack, or greatly raises defense, right? He's already really good, okay? They changed his leader skill possibly to key HP attack and defense 170% instead of just HP and defense 170, attack 130. Just make the attack 170 as well, and already, that's going to be insane, right? We're going to have best pure Saiyans leader in the game right here again. Attack 150%, definitely could see them doing that. Defense, I think 100%, or even 120%, right? And then 2 additional attacks with each attack performed. I could see them doing it where it's 2 additional attacks with a medium chance to be supers, right? And then defense 7%. That could bumped up to like 10% even with each attack performed and evolve when conditions are met. This isn't really the worst thing they ever. It's a bit iffy. I feel like they could bump it up to 50% chance. Because I've gone through events where I've been relatively low on health, and I've been waiting for this guy to transform, and he just doesn't. He refuses to transform. So bumping that up to 50, I think, will definitely help. So when he transforms, then this is where we're getting into the real meat and potatoes here. Right, when he actually goes from Super Saiyan Blue to Blue Evolution, this is going to be a game changer right here, in my opinion. Again, they don't really need. Again, if they just add like raises attack and defense or something like that, it's going to be good. But then attack and defense, they could bump that up to 150, even 160 or 170%, definitely. 2 additional super attacks with maybe even a high chance to become, or 2 additional attacks with a high chance to become super attacks. Very feasible, right? Chance for a crit 10% with each attack performed. That doesn't even need to change. I mean, I guess they could bump it up to like 15% or 12% or something, right? But again, they just need to increase the percentages, and he's just going to be busted with the increase. Like, look at this defense. That's already really good, right? Percentages with the increased stats. He's just one of these units that doesn't need a lot of work in order to be a top-tier EZA unit. Top-tier unit in the game. So it's exciting stuff. I cannot wait for this guy to get his EZA. It's probably going to be a while, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So that is it for today's video. A bit of a longer one, I know, but these are just units I'm really excited to see their EZAs for, and they'd really be useful as well to a lot of the categories. Let me know what you guys think. Are there any units I didn't bring up today that you think would be really, really good, or you're really, really excited for to get an EZA? So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more Dokkan Battle content. Maybe ring the bell. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.